Welcome to Grand Central. This is one of the busiest train stations in the world, with over 750,000 passengers that come through here on a daily basis. It's also one of the most visited places in New York. I'm going to show you some hidden secrets that most people don't know about, like a hidden bar, a tennis court, and how to access these walkways that go across the windows. But first, we're going to start right here at the information booth in the middle of the atrium. That clock up there, there's a myth that it's worth $20 million. So the myth goes that those glass faces are made of opal, and if they are made of opal, then that clock is worth about $20 million. They're not actually made of opal, they're made of opaline glass, which is just kind of a milky white glass. So value-wise, no, it's not worth $20 million on its own. However, the clock is so iconic that if this were to be sold, it would probably go for over $20 million. So the myth is kind of true, and also kind of not. If you look just above the clock, you're gonna see an acorn. If you've ever been to Disney World and searched for hidden Mickeys, you're gonna love this part about Grand Central. Cornelius Vanderbilt, who was kind of the start of all of this, used to say to his kids that great oak trees grow from small acorns. So all throughout the terminal, you're gonna see hidden little acorns and oak leaves. For this next hidden secret, you're gonna have to get up close and personal with a Grand Central employee. As you're talking to them, you're gonna see a little logo on their vest. That logo is of the clock. It's for their centennial, which happened in 2013, because the Grand Central Terminal opened in February of 1913. And if you look at the time on the clock, it's 7:13, which in Army time is 1913. This door used to not be here. It used to be completely enclosed, and the only way in here was through the circular staircase, which, if you open up the doors in here, there's a circular staircase that goes downstairs, down to a break room. So this used to be the only way in. So you go in here, this is a little break room, little couches in there, and there's a circular staircase that goes straight up into the information booth up top. Now that was the only way in here until after September 11th, and they built this door so that the workers in there would have 2 points of exit. That information booth is crazy busy, by the way. It averages over 1,000 questions per hour. Here in the atrium, there are a couple secrets if you look up. So let's spend some time checking out the ceiling. First off, as you look up, you're gonna see Aquarius, Pisces, and everybody else here in the constellations. They're backwards. See Orion here, and Cancer, Gemini, they're supposed to be over there, and Aquarius and Pisces are supposed to be on that side. Some people claim it was a mistake, never been proven either way. Vanderbilt, of course, said it was intentional, because it was supposed to be the way that the gods are looking at the constellation, looking from the heavens down instead of from Grand Central up. You can decide for yourself what you think is right. I think they made a mistake, but I think that's fine. It's still a work of art. Next secret, if you follow this line all the way to the end over by Cancer, you're gonna see a black square. Before they spent years restoring the ceiling, the entire ceiling was black, just like that little rectangle that they left there. The prevailing rumor is that all that grime and dirt came from smoke from cigarettes and cigars of all the millions of passengers that were passing through here every single day. The team that restored it had it actually analyzed and found absolutely no tar and nicotine in there. It's from cars, exhaust, incinerators from apartment buildings, because these windows were open all the time to let air circulate through here. So all the exhaust from the cars and the trucks and everything outside came in here, set on the ceiling, sometimes inches worth of dirt and grime up there. It is not from cigarette smoke. I will link the research down below so you can check for yourself. Hopefully we can put that myth to bed. Alright, we come over here to Pisces. You're gonna see a hole in the ceiling. So that hole was put there by a United States missile, but it's not quite what you think. Back when the Soviets launched Sputnik during the Cold War, it understandably concerned a lot of Americans. So in a show of force, I guess, to reassure Americans, the US put a missile right here in Grand Central. Now that missile was only 70 feet tall, and the ceilings in here are 125 feet tall. There's no way the missile actually poked a hole in here, like they didn't measure it right. What happened was they had a guide wire that was hooked to the ceiling to keep the thing upright, keep it from tipping over. Once they took the missile out a few months later, they just never fixed the hole. And then it was covered by all the dirt and grime, so no one even noticed it. When they did the restoration, they found the hole, didn't realize what it was for, but eventually they figured it out. They left it. There are 2,500 gold stars up there, and they're all gold leaf. And actually when they did the restoration, they included some fiber optic lights as stars. There's the atrium. You've got this hallway here with the chandeliers. And then right here we've got some elevators. These are public elevators. We are going to take the elevators up to Vanderbilt Tennis Club. you need to relax, there's some seats up here. Grand Central today was built with commuters in mind, and so it really is to get people in and out as quickly as possible. And so as you notice, and down in the atrium and all the waiting areas, not that many seats. But you need to sit down, 4th floor of these elevators. These are some of the chairs that used to be down in the dining hall, but they were kind of in the way, so they moved them up here. And if you look at the back of the chair, this is the old Grand Central Terminal logo. And if you flip it upside down, you can see the T is actually an anchor, because Vanderbilt used to be in shipping before he got into trains. There's also vending machines up here if you want those. You got seats here, elevator here. We're gonna come right over here to the tennis court. This is locked, you gotta press the buzzer. And they opened it for me, thank you. Tennis club. If you want to play tennis, it's open to the public, and it is first come, first serve. You got to reserve a week in advance, usually, is when they book themselves out. So if you want to go on Saturday, call the Saturday morning a week beforehand. It opens around 8 a.m. Don't book it online, you call them, and that's how you book it. Info's below if you want to go play tennis at Grand Central. So, right over here, we're going to show you how to access the catwalk now. So, tennis was through these doors. We're going to go through this door. This door locks behind you, so if you go out, you will not be able to get back in. We got this awesome staircase here with these epic windows. This is facing west towards 1 Vanderbilt. And if you come over to this door right here, this is how you technically could access the catwalk that goes across the windows. This is locked. You need a key card to enter here and exit, so if you happen to tail somebody and get in there, you won't be able to get out without a key card either. So I recommend don't go in there, but it's kind of cool to just be here and look at all the gears. They used to open up all the windows here before they had central air, so you can see all the gears there where they would turn the bars and open the windows to let air circulation into the terminal. You will be on camera here, so don't do anything stupid. I'm gonna go down the stairs here. You can see again, this is how you can open up all the windows. Again, don't open the windows. Just because it's here doesn't mean you should. Each level has a walkway. It's mainly for the people who work here, just so they can get across to the other side without having to go down through the atrium and back up through all the busyness, especially during rush hour times. This is Saturday, so there's not a lot of people walking around right now, but you can imagine during the daytime, this is a really handy shortcut to get to the other side. And as we come down here, you're gonna see another fire door. This one you can get out, but you can't get in. So if you wanna see that, you have to take the elevator. Boop. And we're gonna go down one more floor, all the way to the bottom, to the Campbell apartment. Excuse me, it used to be called the Campbell apartment, now it's the Campbell Bar. Campbell's safe is still there in the middle of the faux fireplace. Definitely a cool little spot to hang out, get a drink. If you don't want to go up through all the stairs, you can just take the elevators here to B, for the balcony or bar, depending on which side you're on. Back at the atrium here, I forgot to tell you, all the clocks in here are crazy accurate. All the official clocks here in Grand Central are synced off of the atomic clock down at the US Naval Base in Maryland, so very accurate. So if you look at the clocks there, you know exactly what time it is. All these clocks are hooked to a master clock that's over by the tracks. I don't think I'm supposed to say. I'm not gonna say. It says no trespassing, so I'll show you. I'm not gonna show you the actual clock because, you know, I don't wanna go to jail for a clock. Kind of a side note, the New York Central Railway, Vanderbilt started here, it actually was the reason that we have time zones like we have now. Because before that, cities and counties all had their own little time zones, and running a railway through all of that stuff just created such a mess. So he wanted to make sure that all the cities in the same place were all synchronized so the trains could run on schedule. So that's why we have it. So two things over here in the Graybar passage. The first one kind of sticks out because it's the only painted version of the ceiling instead of all the other white ones. So not a secret, but if you've never stopped to look at it, now you can. You've got the raising of a skyscraper over there. We got the railroad travel here going under what looks like High Bridge up by the Bronx. And then this is making steel, and up here is aviation. The real secret over here in Graybar is in the wine cellar. You gotta look up again. This used to be the Grand Central Theater, as in movie theater, not Broadway theater. But you pay 25 cents, you come in here, watch a movie. This would be the entry point, the lobby, and you'd have these amazing ceilings and archways. It's super pretty. The theater used to go all the way down this hallway here. It's pretty cool. Another bonus secret, come out here and look up on the other side of this. This awning here was made to look like the mooring lines for a ship. And on real mooring lines of a ship, rats try to climb up the lines to get into the ship and get the food, but they have these little cone things on there to keep the rats out, and they put them on here too. Alright, so we're outside now, and everybody has seen this statue with the Tiffany clock in the middle here. There's two secrets about this. Number one is that it may not actually be a Tiffany clock. Everybody recognizes it as Tiffany, but Tiffany's has never actually confirmed it. Of course, they've never denied it because it's great publicity for them, but they've never confirmed it, and no one actually knows. Second interesting thing is that the 6 there at the bottom is actually a doorway. It opens. They clean this every couple of months, and that's how they access it. They open that little doorway there, and then they come out here with a big stick with a squeegee on it, and that's how they clean the face of the clock. It looks a lot smaller than it is, but that clock is 13 feet wide, and so his arm is probably 12 or 13 feet wide. So if you were gonna lay down on that, a full-grown human would only be like the size of his forearm. That's crazy. And in case you're curious, that's Hercules on the left, Mercury up top, and then Minerva on the right. Hercules, of course, is about strength, Mercury is about speed and commerce, and then Minerva is wisdom. All good symbols for the railway here. Also, if you look over here in Mercury's hand, that's staff. You'll see other places around the terminal too. There's Cornelius down here too. It's getting later and later because I just keep winging it. I should have written stuff down before I came in here, but I'm just kind of remembering stuff as I go. So one of the faces here is not original because the original one was shot by a cop when he was chasing some people from the Yippies. Yeah, I had to look it up. It was a youth international party. They were having a yip in here in Grand Central. Anyway, shots were fired and damaged the clock. The actual face is now in the New York Transit Museum. Still broken. So the acoustics doesn't make any sense to me, but there's a whispering wall in here. I don't think it's that big of a secret. I think everybody knows about it, but we'll throw it in here anyways, just in case you didn't. Can you hear me? Acorn, oak leaves. A lot of these secrets came from Untapped New York. Check out their website, it's amazing. It's got a lot more details here, especially if you want to see pictures of like M42 or Track 61, some of the things I didn't get to that are not publicly accessible. They're all on that blog. I also took their tour, which was fantastic, highly recommend it. So I'll leave some links down below. This isn't sponsored or anything like that, but just definitely go check out the links and they'll show you a lot of the same secrets that I showed you in the video. I also listened to the Grand Central audio tour doing research for this. That is really helpful for the history. If you want to know more about the Vanderbilts and how this building came to be and all the railroads and everything, super interesting to give that a listen. I'll leave those links down below too. So that's it for the secrets of Grand Central. If you enjoyed that, definitely check out some of these other videos of secrets and other popular places around the city. I hope you have a great day and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around.